J'ai brisé un cœur comme un pot de fleurs. Je l'ai échappé, pas même ramassé. J'ai brisé un cœur.
Ah, la France. Wouldn't it be great if we could go there right now? Well, thanks to an overindulgence of the imagination that my fellow only children know too well, and the joys of modern technology, we can. With this series, I'm endeavoring to travel without ever breaking confinement to share an apéritif, or apéro, with some of my friends around the globe. This week we're visiting France. After I make the obligatory apéro, I'll head upstairs to get into my trusty teleporter and meet with my good friend Damien, who is waiting for me in his hometown of Lyon.
J'ai brisé un cœur, l'ai laissé mi-battant, sanglant et sans...
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Are you recording right now?
Oh, I'm constantly recording. Nothing is safe.
Wait, can you show me the microphone?
Actually, I can't.
Put it close to your shoulder. Put it close to your shoulder.
Oh, there we go. I can see your French tree in the background. Nice French.
Oui, oui, the France. This is la France. Oh.
Ooh la la. All right. So what are you drinking for your apéro?
So right now for apéro, I'm drinking some blonde beer from this brewery called Ninkasi. And it's a brewery from Lyon. It's quite famous here. And they make some delicious beer. And as you can see, they even won a gold medal at the World Beer Thingy.
The World Beer Thingy. So I made the sidecar cocktail. Oh, you can't. Hang on. There we go. Which apparently has its origins in Paris. Have you ever had one? Do you know anything about it?
I do not. Tell me more.
Oh, that's all I know. It was apparently invented in Harry's New York bar in Paris in the 1920s. According to legend, an American captain living in Paris rolled up to the bar riding in the sidecar of his friend's motorcycle and wanted a cognac before dinner. But it was too early for any civilized folk to be drinking cognac that early, so they added Cointreau and lemon juice, and boom, that made it socially acceptable. Before I take a sip, just want to say santé, if you're ready.
I don't think that's good. Santé.
What do you do, sir? What is your name? Tell us a little about yourself.
Oh, so my name is Damien, and I work as a tour director. So I do a few things, but the main thing I do is taking groups of travelers around France, Europe, and make them discover the beautiful continent and my beautiful country.
Well, that's lovely.
It is. So I was born in Aix-en-Provence, which is in the south of France. If you haven't been, you want to make sure you write it down and you go have a look later because you will want to visit. It's a beautiful town in Provence. I then grew up north of Lyon in Villefranche-sur-Saône in the Beaujolais area. You might know the Beaujolais because of the wine, because that's what we do there and we do it well. And after that, I went to live in Paris for a while when I worked for Big Mouse over there. For Mickey Mouse, worked at Disneyland Paris. And now I'm back in Lyon for the last 4 months.
Très bien. And Lyon is known for its wonderful food scene. Is that right?
The wonderful food scene, the best food scene, you know. Some people tend to agree on the fact that France has the best food in the world. And it's hard for me to say what I think because I love so many other foods too, but it's one of the great food in the world. And Lyon is really recognized without any argument in France for being the city of gastronomy.
Mm.
And that says quite a lot because French people don't agree much. We are,
But so I always love really delving in and finding local foods whenever I travel. But I have to say that whenever I come home, there is one kind of food that I always seek out right after I get off of the plane. And for me, that's Mexican food.
okay.
First thing. Anywhere else, I just cannot find it. So that's like my homey comfort food, I guess. Do you have one of those, like when you're gone forever and you finally come home?
I do. And mine is something that's not that easy to come across. It's called aligot, Aligot. And you could simplify and dumb it down to being cheesy mashed potato, but it's just so much more than that. So it's originally from the Cantal region in the center of France. And it is, yes, mashed potato with some cheese, which is la tome, Tomme. And they just do it in those big casseroles. I don't know what that would be in English.
Yeah.
And with the big wooden spatula, and then they mix it, and then they like raise their hand, and you see the whole cheesy potato like drooling down.
Mm.
And that's something quite fantastic that I always like to get when I come back. That would be the second one because it's a bit hard to find. I'd say the first one is really a good croissant. And I know it sounds cliche.
All right. Well, we went off on a tangent on food, so clearly we aren't lying about being foodies. I'll own it too.
Are you a foodie?
Oh, I'm total foodie, yeah. Since you're in travel and you are a tour director, do you do any private guiding, by the way?
I do some private guiding, yes, absolutely. You can find my link below. Can you insert my link, my website? I do like that.
Do you have a website?
I don't, but I'll create one just for that video. Can we do something like I put my hand, my website, and then as I move my hand, my website starts appearing?
We'll see what we can do. Okay, since you are in the tourism industry in France, for you, if you had a friend from out of the country come and visit you, who's never been to France before, what is the place, like the one, you only had the chance to take them to one spot in the country for whatever reason? Just go with me on this make-believe adventure. What would that one place be? And it can't be like a general city. It needs to be a specific
place.
I mean, yes.
That's a hard question. You could have eased in on me, and as a tourism professional, I aspire to be. My first question is, what do you like? Like, what are you interested? Because I can point you out somewhere, and you'll just be, oh, yeah, because you're not sensitive to it, and I am. But so that's always hard to give an answer. And I will say the Mont Saint-Michel.
Really?
Yes. Because it's one place, but there is so much in low season, just to be clear, in low season. But there is so much about France that you find there. The importance of religion, the building aspect. We are on a little mountain by the sea, and there's so much of the culture, the French culture and the history that is somewhat related to the Mont Saint-Michel. And I wanted to pick something out of Paris to begin with, because although I think you have to go to Paris as much as you need to go there, just to tell your friends you've been there, you need to get out of Paris, because Paris is in France. Paris is Paris, and there's such a big country outside.
All right. So on the flip side now, what do you think is one place that is just so overrated that everyone is like, oh, I have to go there, but you think it's just overrated? Doesn't mean it's bad or not worth visiting necessarily, but it's just not, it doesn't deserve all the hype that it gets.
Yeah, I will say any food or beverage you will acquire on the Champs-Élysées. Because Champs-Élysées, most famous avenue, most beautiful avenue in the world, blah, 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 blah.
That's
and everybody wants to go there.
Right?
It's right behind you. His map is odd, by the way.
Yeah, this isn't inaccurate. Don't use this if you go to Paris. You'll get lost.
Yeah, like, take this map with you. That's how you find the Eiffel Tower. So yeah, the Champs-Élysées, what's interesting about it is Parisians don't go there, which means there's only tourists, which means all the restaurants and bars just cater to tourists. And there's this idea of, oh, let's have a coffee on the Champs-Élysées, or let's have a glass of wine on the Champs-Élysées. And you're going to pay 2 or 3 times the price you would pay somewhere else. So Champs-Élysées, overrated.
Well, there you have it, folks. But we're not done. The rest of our Apéro will be uploaded on Friday, and this time we'll be talking about why it is that we're only virtually traveling these days. And we'll finally answer the question that everyone is definitely asking themselves.
Damien, how do we know each other?
Aux Champs-Élysées.